Ferdinand Omanyala came to Xiamen with one thing to fix. 1 week earlier, Gift Leotlela beat him in a photo finish. But this time, Omanyala did not leave it to the camera. Ferdinand Omanyala did not just win the 100 meters in Xiamen. He changed the story that had started 1 week earlier in Shanghai. In Shanghai, Gift Leotlela shocked the field. He ran 9.97, leaned at the line, and took his first Diamond League 100-meter victory. Omanyala was right there, but not first. The race was so tight that it needed the photo to separate the top men. That kind of loss can bother a sprinter. It is not a blowout. It is not a clear failure. It is worse in a different way. It tells you that 1 inch, 1 lean, 1 step, or 1 small mistake changed everything. So when Omanyala arrived in Xiamen, the pressure was clear. He was not just racing the field. He was racing the memory of Shanghai. He had to show that the loss did not slow him down. He had to show that Leotlela's win was not the start of a new one-sided story. Then the gun fired, Omanyala ran 9.94, his season's best, and won the race. Leotlela finished second in 10.00. Trayvon Bromell took third in 10.03. Kenny Bednarik was also in the mix. This time, Omanyala did not wait for a photo to save him. A Diamond League win always matters, but this one carried extra heat. Omanyala had just been beaten by Leotlela. The sprint world had just watched South Africa land a huge 100-meter statement. Then Xiamen gave Omanyala the chance to answer right away. He did. That is what makes this race important. Great sprinters do not only run fast when everything feels easy. They respond after losses. They come back with pressure on their name. They step into the next race knowing the cameras are waiting to see if the last result hurt them. Omanyala's 9.94 was not just faster than Shanghai. It was cleaner in meaning. He beat the man who had beaten him. He beat him 1 week later. He did it on another Diamond League stage, with the whole sprint world watching. That kind of answer changes momentum. Leotlela's Shanghai win still matters. It was real, it was fast. It proved he belongs near the front of the global 100 meters. But Xiamen stopped the story from becoming simple. It reminded everyone that Omanyala is still the fastest man Africa has ever produced, and he is still a dangerous problem when he gets the race right. This was not revenge talk. It was revenge on the clock. For years, African sprinting in the men's 100 meters often had one main name in the spotlight. Ferdinand Omanyala carried the flag hard. His 9.77 African record made him a global sprint name. His Commonwealth Games win made him even bigger. His speed gave Kenya a sprint identity on a world stage where the country is usually known for distance running. But now the story is wider. Gift Leotlela is not just chasing from far behind. He has already beaten Omanyala on a major stage. Akani Simbine has been one of the most steady African sprinters for years. South Africa keeps producing fast men. Kenya has Omanyala as the frontline threat. The battle is no longer about one man trying to prove Africa can sprint. It is about which African sprinter can control the biggest races. That is why Xiamen felt important. Omanyala needed to protect more than a race result. He needed to protect his place in a growing continental fight. When Leotlela won Shanghai, the question changed. Was Omanyala still the clear African sprint king, or was the field catching him? Xiamen gave the answer for now. Omanyala is not safe forever. No sprinter is. But he showed that if someone takes his spotlight, they better be ready for the next race. The 100 meters can look simple, but it is never simple. 10 seconds can hide 100 small details. The start, the first drive, the transition, the top speed, the relaxation, the lean. Each part matters. In Xiamen, Omanyala did not win by panic. He won by building the race. Reports from the race said he picked up the pace around halfway, then held off Leotlela as the South African tried to close late. That tells us a lot. Omanyala did not only blast out and hope, he stayed strong through the middle, where many 100-meter races are truly decided. That is the section where power turns into speed. It is where a sprinter must rise without tightening. It is where mistakes can start showing. Leotlela came closer near the end, but Omanyala had already done enough. His high knees and strong drive carried him to the line first. The time was 9.94 with legal win. That is a serious early season mark. It shows that Omanyala's speed is there. It also shows that his confidence did not crack after Shanghai. A sprinter can talk about bouncing back. Omanyala ran it. This was not an empty race. Omanyala did not beat a weak field. Leotlela was coming in fresh from a Diamond League win. Bromell is a former world-level American sprinter with serious 100-meter history. Bednarek is known more for the 200, but he has enough speed to be dangerous in any sprint field that makes the win stronger. When a race has real names, the result has weight. Omanyala was not just racing against a clock, he was racing against men who can punish mistakes. If he got out poorly, the field could swallow him. If he tightened late, Leotlela could take him again. If he lost rhythm, Bromell or Bednarek could move into the picture. But Omanyala stayed in control long enough to take the win. That is the difference between looking fast and winning big. Many sprinters can run well in perfect conditions. Fewer can answer a recent loss against the same rival and still come out on top. This was why the Xiamen race felt like a reset. Shanghai made people ask if Leotlela had taken the edge. Xiamen made people remember that Omanyala still owns one of the most dangerous engines in the event. This win is big, but it should not be exaggerated into a finished season. Omanyala ran 9.94, not 9.77. He won Xiamen, but the global 100-meter season is long. The biggest tests are still ahead. The men's 100 meters changes quickly. One week, a sprinter looks untouchable. The next week, another man finds better timing, better wind, or a better start. That is why one race cannot settle everything. Leotlela is still a real threat. His Shanghai win was not fake. He ran 9.97 and beat a strong field. He also came back in Xiamen and finished second. That means this rivalry is alive. Not over, Omanyala also has a bigger challenge. He has been fast for years, but major global medals in the 100 meters are still the hardest prize. Running sub-10 in May is one thing. Running through rounds at a major championship is another. You need speed, recovery, race control, and the right execution when the pressure is highest. So Xiamen proves Omanyala is in strong form. It does not prove he has solved every question, but it does prove one important thing. He is not fading from the fight. Omanyala's Xiamen win changes the shape of his season because it gives him control again. After Shanghai, the easy headline was Leotlela's rise. After Xiamen, the headline is a battle. That is better for sprinting. Fans now have a real African 100-meter rivalry to watch. Kenya against South Africa, Omanyala against Leotlela, power against composure, experience against a man building new momentum. And behind them, more names are waiting. Xiamen has already shown for years that he belongs in major finals. Other sprinters are trying to break into the same space. Africa's 100-meter scene has never looked this crowded, and that makes every Diamond League race feel sharper. For Omanyala, the goal is clear. He has to keep stacking wins. He has to keep dropping times. He has to show that 9.94 is not his peak, but his base.